You're about to fall into the ultimate budget golf trap. Brand new drivers are pushing crazy prices right now, right? So you decide to save some cash and jump straight to an older, famous driver like the TaylorMade M2. You just assume older automatically means better value. But here's the reality. Reputation alone can make you overpay. Buying a legendary name could quietly turn into one of those cheap golf buys you instantly regret. Later in this explainer, I'll show you the one thing most buyers never check when looking at this specific club, and it costs them every single time. Let's get to work. So that brings us to the big question. Is the TaylorMade M2 actually still worth buying used in 2026? We need to figure out if this club is a genuinely smart value play today or just a massive money pit disguised by pure nostalgia. With older drivers, the question isn't just, does it hit the ball? It's, am I actually getting a deal? Or am I just buying old gear because the price tag looks friendly? Here is the game plan for this explainer. 1. The used gear money trap. 2. Performance, value versus nostalgia. 3. The biggest used buying mistakes. 4. The smart buyer's checklist. And 5. Better alternatives and the final verdict. We're breaking this whole thing down to save you cash. All right, part 1. The used gear money trap. Reputation versus reality. Look, a lot of golfers get stuck in a bad cycle right here. They spot an M2 on a used rack and immediately think about its massive reputation from years ago. But the cheaper option is not always worse. Here is the catch. People buy purely on name recognition. A lot of folks look at a used M2 and only compare it to the newest premium drivers. Honestly, that's the wrong comparison. Sure, it makes the M2 look like a massive steal, but it's a total illusion. The smarter question is this: would you rather buy an older M2 with a hyped name or a slightly newer previous generation driver from a different brand for the exact same cash? Think about it. If the M2 is priced too high just because of its legacy, it stops being a value buy entirely. You might easily find a newer, affordable driver with less wear, a brand new grip, and zero unknowns for the exact same money. Moving to part 2, performance, value versus nostalgia. Let's look at what the M2 actually offers today. Let's strip away the emotional nostalgia and focus on real-world utility. What actually makes this club worth your hard-earned money right now? Well, the M2 builds a massive reputation for being incredibly friendly to everyday players. It isn't some intimidating, low-spin driver that brutally punishes every single miss. It's easy to launch, it gets the ball up in the air quickly, and it's forgiving enough to trust when your swing speed isn't tour level. If you're a beginner or a mid-handicapper, you probably care way more about keeping the ball in play on off-center hits than squeezing out tiny bits of tech you won't even feel. You just want a driver that helps you actually find the short grass and avoid the woods. That perfectly describes the M2's ongoing appeal. It does the job without overcomplicating things. So the appeal of this club comes down to 3 basic things: forgiveness, simplicity, and used value. The forgiveness is baked right in. The simplicity is definitely there. It's a super clean setup without any complex adjustability you'll probably never use. But before you buy, you need to hear this next part. That third piece, used value, is highly volatile. Used prices swing wildly depending on who is selling it. At the right price, yeah, it's a smart buy. But if that price creeps up too close to newer models with fresher faces, your value fades fast. Because honestly, condition matters way more than the model name. By 2026, you are looking at a pretty old piece of equipment. Its legendary status means absolutely nothing if the physical condition is compromised. Face wear matters, crown damage matters. Which brings us to part 3, the biggest used buying mistakes and where good deals go bad. Let's talk about the specific traps buyers fall into when chasing this exact club. This is exactly where most golfers waste money. Mistake number 1, and this answers that teaser from earlier, is buying based on the club head only and completely ignoring the shaft. They see the M2 logo and just stop thinking. But if a seller swapped in some random shaft that doesn't fit your swing speed or tempo, the whole deal falls apart. You will spray the ball everywhere. A cheap golf club that doesn't fit you is absolutely not a bargain, it's a penalty stroke. Mistake number 2, ignoring severe damage versus normal scratches. Mistake number 3, overpaying purely for the M2 name without cross-checking other clubs on the rack. And mistake number 4, assuming an older club automatically means forgiveness for everyone. Fit still dictates performance. Never forget that. When you're scrolling through real online listings, keep this in mind. If buying used, this next point matters a lot. You have to look closely at the wear. Scratches on the sole of a used driver? Totally normal. That is not a deal breaker at all. But you need to actively watch out for cracks, loose components, denting, or any signs of outright abuse. You also have to evaluate the hosel and the shaft condition. A bad shaft fit can make a solid head feel absolutely terrible. Part 4. The Smart Buyer's Checklist. Actionable steps for a budget win. Let's flip those warnings into a concrete blueprint so you can vet these clubs the right way. Here are 4 steps to keep your wallet safe. 1. Check the face, crown, sole, and hosel photos carefully. Ask the seller for close-ups if you need them. Do not buy blurry listings. 2. Verify the shaft and loft actually fit your swing. Find out if it is stock or aftermarket. 3. Calculate the total cost. Most buyers skip this and regret it later. If you buy a budget M2 but have to immediately drop $50 to replace the grip or reshaft it, your savings are completely wiped out. The deal is dead. And 4. Compare pricing to newer used alternatives. Look at the broader market, not just this one famous name. Put it up against last year's models from other brands. Part 5. Better alternatives and the final verdict. Let's figure out exactly who should buy this and who should skip it, so you know exactly what to do. Let's be totally honest about the pros and cons here. You should buy the M2 if you are a budget-focused beginner or mid-handicapper who values simple, playable performance over flashy marketing. It makes total sense if you find a clean club with a shaft that fits your game. But you should absolutely avoid it if you want the newest feel, maximum adjustability, or if you need a highly specific launch and spin fitting. Blindly buying old gear is risky if you have specific swing needs. But this next part changes the final answer completely. Skip it immediately if the asking price is too close to newer models. If the M2 doesn't check out, look at slightly newer previous generation drivers from major brands. You might get similar forgiveness with way less wear risk. The smarter budget move is never just buy the famous old club. The move is buy the best condition, best fit, best value club you can afford. So is the TaylorMade M2 still worth buying used in 2026? Yes, but only if the price is dead on. It's the best value if you find one in solid condition, with the right fit, that clearly beats newer alternatives on price. Skip it entirely if the seller is leaning hard on the legacy name and asking way too much. Do not overpay for nostalgia. So I leave you with this question. Does the M2 actually fit your swing and your budget, or does it just fit your nostalgia? Take a hard look at the numbers before you pull the trigger. Drop a comment below with your current handicap and your driver budget, and let me know which used models you are actively comparing right now. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss our next explainer, breaking down the gear that actually saves you strokes and cash.